from Sandburg in 1999, where she was the class valedictorian and a three-sport athlete: softball, basketball, and volleyball. The end. No, I thought that was it. It sounded like enough, right? Becky's grateful for the opportunities, lessons, and friendships that she developed during her high school tenure. She went on to earn a bachelor's in business administration from Washington University in St. Louis, where she majored in finance, marketing, and political science, and graduated summa cum laude. See a pattern here with all the threes and then the top, of course. In 2008, Becky started her career at a little company I think you might have heard of. It's called Google. And she spent the majority of her 13 plus years partnering with brands to develop insights and deliver best-in-class marketing solutions. With a love of learning at her core, Becky decided to move to the Google for Education team early last year as the Central Region Manager, K-12 Google for Education. She leads the team that partners with educational institutions to help make learning more equitable, collaborative, and personalized. Becky enjoys staying connected to Sandburg by leading Google Office tours and hosting Q&A sessions with current students. From teaching religious education classes to coaching her daughter's softball team, she continues to be a very active member of her community. Becky currently lives in Chicago with her husband, daughter, and son. Please join me in welcoming Becky Johnson into the Legacy Hall Class of 2021.
Ricky Martin, good.
Good evening. I wanted to make sure I said a few things, so I wrote them down. I promise I will still be brief. I am humbled and honored to be part of the Legacy Hall Class of 2021. Thank you to the District 230 Foundation for this recognition and for the opportunity to re-engage with this amazing community. I'm lucky that my mom still lives behind the Jewel just a few blocks away from Sandburg, so I get the chance to drive by the school often, providing a regular reminder of how proud I am to be an alumnus. It's not by coincidence that the Crayson family moved to that house 35 years ago. My parents were drawn to Sandburg's reputation and dreamed of sending their 4 children there. I'm so glad my mom could join us here today, and I know my dad is looking down on us right now. Thank you both for making that move. I'm so grateful for the unending support and sacrifices you made to provide us the privilege of receiving a world-class education. And I'm thankful 2 of my siblings are able to join us here today. My sister Lisa was our family's first proud Sandburg graduate. From the moment I was born, thank you for being a role model, demonstrating the joys of pursuing a career in education, and for showing me how this working mommy juggling act could successfully be pulled off. My brother Pete Grayson is also here tonight. He's now a teacher at I'm so proud of your dedication to your students and tirelessly working to push yourself to be an amazing teacher and dad. Thank you for continuing to build the D230 legacy. Unfortunately, my husband Sean is recovering from a cold, and I said you cannot be the guy coughing in this room, so he is not able to attend tonight. I'm blessed to be married to an incredible and supportive partner, and my amazing 5 and 8-year-olds are literally and figuratively the reason I get up every day. I dream that they will be able to have the same affinity for their high school experience as I do. And thank you to Todd Allen for attending tonight. Even before my time at Sandburg, little Becky Grayson was an awkward 7th grader at Palos South Middle School who had the good fortune of crossing paths with a promising new talent, student teacher, Mr. Todd Allen. Apparently, after witnessing my dissection skills in his 7th grade biology class, he decided teaching at the high school level was going to be a better fit for his The majority of my middle school friends went to Stagg High School, so it was a welcome coincidence that my freshman year locker turned out to be right next to Mr. Allen's room. It meant a lot to have a regular touch point with a familiar face over the next 4 years, and it means a lot to have you here today as well. And finally, I'd like to thank Fred Perano for the Legacy Hall nomination. Even though he infamously hit a softball so far during freshman year practice that I violently crashed into a fence, I still have to admit he has had a net positive impact on my life. As my softball coach for 3 seasons, I shared some of my favorite high school memories with Coach Perano, and he even made AP US History fun. Thank you for your mentorship and friendship for 25 years and counting. I'm grateful that my Sandburg experience was so formative in developing life lessons and in many ways paved a path for a successful future. For instance, being a three-sport athlete required drive and taught me discipline and the importance of showing up every day for your team. The inspiring faculty, amazing student body, and challenging coursework exposed me to so many different ideas and experiences, which helped instill a growth mindset. I headed off to college with the confidence that I could learn anything and tackle any challenge. It turns out that I would be faced with a great challenge my freshman year of college when my father unexpectedly passed away. Although I had already graduated, I will be forever grateful for the way that the Sandburg community rallied around my family during this impossibly difficult time. My experiences at Sandburg were some of the last memories I share with my dad. Before every softball or basketball game, scanning the Sandburg stamps to find my dad and to see him proudly looking back is an indelible memory I'll hold in my heart forever. Maybe get that one at the end. All right. My dad loved to say, if you find a job you love, you'll never have to work a day in your life. I had lunch with Mr. and Mrs. Perano a few years back, and he talked about how he wasn't necessarily counting down the days to retirement because of how much he still loved his job. And while I liked my job at the time, that conversation emboldened the voices in my head that reminded me that I work at Google, an incredible and expansive company, and have a unique opportunity to find my calling and drive positive change at scale. With a family full of teachers, a deep gratitude for my public school education, and my daughter starting elementary school, I was motivated to start getting more involved with the Google for Education team, which ultimately led to my current role as our Central Region Lead for K-12 Google for Education. Being a part of the EdTech response that has helped enable teachers, many folks just like you, just amazing what you have done, and to meet this unprecedented hybrid learning need during a devastating pandemic, and working on this team has undoubtedly been the most rewarding experience of my career. Thank you to Sandburg High School for cultivating a desire to invest in something bigger than myself and providing me with the foundation to succeed in a purpose-driven career. I'm so proud to be linked to my fellow inductees and forever grateful to be part of the District 230 community. Thank you.